DWM Patches today. Now, I know some people are like going, Titus, what's your obsession with DWM? Why do you love it so much? Why not just be like normal person in Linux and use GNOME or KDE? And the thing I love about DWM, one, is very minimal, but two, a lot of other window managers are all based off of it. Like, I think Awesome, Xmonad, Qtile, the list is pretty extensive. Almost all of them were based off of DWM's base, and then they just added extra functionality to it. So you could do pretty much whatever you want with DWM, and I think that's why I love it the most. And I know it's Xorg, and it's not Wayland, and there's DWL out there, as many people have told me in the past. But DWM just has so many patches, and I'm not the best with C programming. Let's face it, I'm a noob when it comes to C programming. And I don't know, I love hacking around in it. So that's kind of the thought process here. That's why I kind of enjoy doing this. But yeah, that's my thing with DWM. And as I use it more and more, the more I love it. There's just so much you can do, and you can just go for it. What file system do you use for your server? I think right now I've phoned it in. I'm kind of embarrassed, but frankly, I just like, I don't want to mess with it. So right now I'm just using Synology with a Synology hybrid RAID, which is just like a glorified LVM. So there's, redundancy. Think of it like RAID 6 in a software. It's like a software RAID 6 is basically what it is. So that's the thought process there. I don't know how to code, but I've tried DWM and failed many times. I find Hyperland easier. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Hyperland is way easier. And also, it's a lot more flashy. The thing I love about DWM, though, that just, one, the performance of it is second to none. It is just minimal. It does the one thing and does it well. The other thing about DWM that I love is there is no configuration. Once you get it set how you like it, it just will always work. It doesn't matter where you put it. It will always function the way you designed it and compiled it to function. And that's pretty awesome. I understand most people aren't going to like what I do, but I don't care. I like it. And I think that's what makes Linux awesome, because you can design something that fits your needs, not necessarily everybody else's needs, but it fits your needs perfectly, and it makes it feel so incredible compared to any other operating system. And that's the beauty of it all. I am back on Arch, I believe. Let's see. Let's just see the tail of the tape, shall we? Let's just do the old Neo fetch. Yes, Arch Linux. Been rocking it after the restoration, that crazy restoration using time shift and rebuilding our partition tables. That was a wild stream. That was a wild 2 hours. Fun 2 hours, but wild. I literally didn't think that all would work, but at the end of it, I was like, sweet. We got it all going. We had to like update our UUIDs and rebuild Grub and change FS tab. But in the end of the day, we restored it all based off of just some time shift stuff. So I love it. As much as I've been talking up like atomic desktops and immutable file systems, you know what's better than everything? Having a backup. Literally. This is the best thing you can do. Just take your system and back it up to an external device. That's awesome. And it is unfallible, because even no matter how much you break your system, you have a backup to restore to. Oh, yeah. I mean, let's face it. When it comes to I think I might start saying distributions don't matter again, because I feel like that's a lost voice in the Linux realm. Because once you got your backups, it's just like, I don't really care. I really don't care. Let's try whatever. And then if it doesn't work, we could always restore from backup. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, as far as file systems go, I really like BetterFS, but for simplicity's sake, I like ext4. For NTFS, you know, I never miss an opportunity to bash Windows. And in DFS, there's a lot of meat on the bone on that one. When it comes to file system, no one does it worse than Microsoft. The journaling system, to the hard shutdowns and the corruption, you can't find, well, I'm sure there's maybe some obscure file system that's worse, but as far as mainstream file systems go, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel with NTFS and Microsoft using it. That's hilarious to me. I don't know anybody that is actually smart that thinks NTFS is a good file system. I'm sure somebody at Microsoft would disagree with me, but they probably just haven't used anything else extensively. That's just my personal experiences from doing this for decades. In TFS, more often than not, that journal gets like corrupted on bad, dirty shutdowns, and it just breaks. It's not that best to restore from. So I hate NTFS. What about FAT? FAT's worse than NTFS. I mean, having said that, at least FAT has some merits, such as it's pretty agnostic. You'll still see FAT installs on a lot of like UEFI stuff. So it's fine. Just don't put a whole bunch of data on FAT and you'll be okay. It's not that NTFS is a good file system. It's a good enough file system, and Microsoft had no incentive to push a new one. I think that's the truth. Thank you, TZ. I couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so this was awesome. Looking at today's stream, I don't know what I want to do with DWM. I really like where it's at right now, and after those patches to like 6.5, and I swear whoever patched it that on my GitHub, that guy must be like a main developer of DWM or something, or he was very skilled. A lot of his patches made DWM almost seamless for me. It fixed a lot of I want to say just inconsistencies or a little bit of slowdown that I think I probably introduced with the patch. So kind of wild. Yeah, I mean, probably the bar patches. I kind of like the minimal bar. I think the first thing is adding maybe a little bit of transparency to the bar. How do we feel about that though? Let's do a poll. I know, since the people that actually have notifications on, you guys are the ones I care the most about, and I like asking y'all the questions once the stream starts. Let's go to straw poll, and I want to know from you all. Oh man, 1 second. Let's log in real fast. Did I create an account? I did. All right, good. All right, we're back. Let's create a poll. Yes. All right. Do you like your, what do you call this? Navigation bar, status bar, status. We'll call it status bar. Do you like your status bar? Oh my gosh, I don't speak. I speak one language and just extremely poorly. English. And terrible English. All right, here we at that. Oh, I don't have any English majors as fans of mine. I'm sure I would drive them crazy. Do you like transparency in the status bar? We'll say yes or no. And I'm going to send a link out to you guys so YouTube and Twitch can both vote on this. Let's create the poll. All right. We'll share it with y'all. Copy. And put that into here. All right. There's the straw poll. Hit it up. See what you guys see what we got for the votes. I'm going to say a little bit of transparency is okay, as long as you don't go overboard with it. It could be cool. But Windows doesn't do any transparency. So that's where I'm kind of like, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. I think you can do it tastefully, but you gotta kind of watch out for going too crazy with it. I can't vote because I use a VPN. Well, the straw poll I don't think has any of the downsides. Like some people are like, why not just use Twitch polls or whatever? And the reason being is like mobile users on Twitch can't use it. And then also YouTube, I'd have to run multiple. So I like just using strawpoll.com. Hashtag not sponsored. True transparency. It just vanishes. Yes. What the hell? We got a 50-50 poll. All right. Are you guys just trolling me now, or is it really that split? That's kind of insane. Nah, bar transparency is jank. Okay. Man, I mean, this is a pretty divisive thing. I didn't think bar transparency would be that divisive. I thought one would definitely win out over the other. It's a very close poll. So I think what we'll do, I'll leave this up. If you guys want to vote later, you can. But we run another poll after we add transparency and see if we can get this percentage, like a 60%, either yes or no. And that's the thing. How we implement it, I think, is the biggest factor to whether it's good or not. I think transparency with blur, you can do it tastefully. And a little bit's okay. But a lot, I think a lot of people, it's showing that you could screw this up and it's going to look awful. So everyone has their own idea of transparency in their mind. Some, obviously, not great. Some with it done well. So let's see what we can do using C. So I'll leave that up. And we're going to just patch DWM, add a little transparency here. Let's see. Do we have... We'll go DWM, get status, lazy G, config tweaks. We're just going to make sure we're working off a clean branch. Everything's up. We have... before we start, I was like, oh... I did remove the status bar, so people that use my DWM probably aren't going to like that. Because some people like use, look, SL status or DWM blocks, and I kind of just commented out my status. Because I don't like how xset root puts like a whole bunch of text. And honestly, just adding a bunch of widgets up here doesn't make any sense. And I like the clean nature of this setup. Some people are like, what about the time? And I'm like, well, I got my time in my terminal now. I don't know. I just like to be different. You know, but there is some things that you want on your taskbar, I will say. Like Wi-Fi. Is your Wi-Fi connected? I'm hardwired, so I don't care. Battery, if you have a laptop, seeing your battery levels all the time. That's obviously important. And some people like the time, but I don't. Time's overrated. Volume probably, but I run everything through a mixer and I'd like to run everything at like 100%. Control, PAVU control. Yeah, everything's 100%. Yeah. So I don't really configure my volume there. There's really just nothing else I want in my taskbar. So yeah, it's all bloat. Who needs time when you have all the time in the world? Exactly, Jess. Agree 100% with you. Skill issues. That's right. Bluetooth. Bluetooth. Who uses Bluetooth? Bluetooth's bloat. Skill issues, Titus. don't say anything. All right, here we go. Let's modify this. I think we'll just pull up old cursor. I'm still using cursor. You know, I've tried like my local AI stuff, and we've done a bunch of different iterations of it, but so far cursor's been okay. I still think it'll be replaced by like a good VS Code extension, but for now, I still get the best results in it. All right, so that's my config.h. Now let's go to DWM.c, and yeah. Yeah, we tried Olama. We did a whole stream with Olama, and it did pretty good. It was about, I think we got it to about GPT 3.5 levels, and I could have messed with the modeling a little more, but obviously you're not going to beat 4. All right, this is what I actually commented out, the status text, because I don't use any of that stuff, and I don't use like DWM blocks. I got probably SL status is the one I like the most when I'm doing like status on my bar. If you never used SL status, I think I was using this one. Yeah, it just adds a very simplistic bar at the top where you can get Wi-Fi, battery levels, volume, date, time. And I liked how simple this was. And this is one that I was actually looking at, and it works good. If you want like a DWM one, I would just come back into here, uncomment the status text, and then just run an SL status. It's pretty efficient, and it's another C program that you can just run and install. I liked it a lot better than DWM blocks. I thought DWM blocks was just a little too cumbersome, I guess, or it just looked a little bloated. And there's just nothing I really was like, I'm constantly looking for this metric in my system. It's the best way to explain it probably would be like, I compare it to almost YouTube thumbnails. Have you ever noticed like most YouTube thumbnails for like Linux creators, they go kind of crazy with it. Like they'll repeat the title in the thumbnail, and then they'll just add like icons everywhere. And you're like, you know, you could have just tossed your face up there and then maybe a screenshot of the actual whatever it is you're trying to explain. Like, I would probably just screenshot this and then just blow up this section right here. And people will be like, oh, he's coding something in DWM. Show sys tray. And then maybe highlight 1 or 2 words and make that stand out. Simplicity is key. I love that. Average, thanks for the sub. Oh, all right. I need to make some YouTube alerts. I'm sorry for YouTube. You guys are like second-class citizens when it comes to the live streams. I'm gonna improve it though. Like I said, YouTube, I'm giving you guys at least a month, and then I'm gonna improve it all during that month. So we're gonna get good alerts. I think someone super chatted the other day and it doesn't show up in chat, and I'm sorry. So probably shouldn't do the super chats over there on YouTube. I know. I'm terrible. But in my defense, Twitch has been here. I've been streaming on Twitch for over a year now, consistently. So yeah, I think I did some shots fired at Brody with the thumbnail thing. But seriously, Brody, if you watch this, man, I love you, love your content. There's 2 things I would probably say to Brody that would help him immensely with everything. 1, stop repeating your title and your thumbnail. It's just one of those things. It's cool. And then probably the second thing is show, don't tell. I always remind myself of that. And sometimes I get the big head and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and chat. But show don't tell is one of like the pinnacle things to do. So always do that. And if you're sitting there chatting and all they're seeing is you chatting for more than 2 minutes at a time, that can be a problem. Usually you want to be showing what you're talking about. Love Brody to death though. He's goated too. So I love Brody and he brings up some great topics. But yeah. just some things as I sit here and chat. But at least I got something in the background. Power of the green screen. It's why I do the green screen. All right. Looking at this, let's patch this thing. First up, we will be patching. Going down, we're going to be patching config. What are we adding to config? We're doing bar alpha. Ooh, okay. So let's just add this, the config.def, and then we'll also do a config in the make. So we'll go config.def, and what was this called? Alpha or something. All right, we'll just put it up here. Static const alpha, border alpha. Cool. So we'll take this guy, copy that, and then we're just gonna put it in our, right into our config. Perfect. Alrighty, that's done. First patch done. Now I could just patch it, but my DWM so highly customized at this point. I kind of want to just take it line by line to introduce alpha. That, and it kind of helps me better understand some of the code. I'm still terrible with C, and I still don't understand a damn thing usually. But I can kind of grasp some of the ideas behind it by just doing it line by line. I'm like, oh, that's not so bad. All right, the next one's going to be the config.make. And if we go config.mk, let's look at that. Config.mk. We're going to look for libs. So we have this lib. Let's see. What are we adding here? You have free libs, blah, 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 XL, blah, 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 and then LX render on top of it. So what we're going to do, see, this is why I don't run the patch, because everything's kind of customized, and it wouldn't have known that I have like KVM lib here as well. So that patch is done. Save that out. Let's come back into here. And flags, blah, blah, blah. Now we get to the meat and potatoes, the DRW.C. This is where it's drawing stuff. We're going to go to the DRW create and see what we can get. Visual, unsigned color depth. Not that many lines to change here. Well, there's a few lines actually. Maybe we could try the patch command. I don't know. We're changing about 60 lines, I think, so yeah. I feel like patching it now. Mr. Gain, thanks for the sub. Yeah. I don't want to do 60 lines, so let's do a patch. And DWM patch command. Probably the best way to apply patches. I like to use the -p1 method. Some people use git. Is there anybody that patches in the audience that's like, hey, I prefer this way? Every time I use git, though, it kind of confuses me because I think it creates like a new branch or something. And I'm just like, it's just easier to use patch. Hate to say that, but it's kind of, I don't know, kind of the way I feel. All right. I think I'm just going to use patch p1. Let's see what we get. I'm just going to grab this file. We're going to come on over here, and we're just going to snag that bad boy down. So we're going to go patch P1 and then DWM-Alpha. I think actually we need to do a less than sign right after the P1. So if we go back, less than sign, something like that, should get us exactly there. Git apply my patch -- reject. Okay. All right, let's see what fails. Hey, only 2 hunks failed. That's pretty good. Nice. Let's go .reject. Yeah, I was just rejecting the LX render, which is fine. And then the def is fine. Let's look at the def. That's hilarious. It added it twice. Stupid patch command. All right. We already manually added that. It's fine. This one failed, which we already manually added that one. And looking at it, DWMC actually, it only looks like it only failed on 2 patches here. That's cool. So if we cat dwm.c.rejection, we just got to change in the setup void. We need to add the unsigned alphas. Let's take a look at that. Oh, the Final Cut Pro. Yeah, there was a time when I'd used Final Cut Pro for about a year. A little over a year, actually. I had a Mac Mini, and I rocked Final Cut Pro as my main video editor. True story. Now, the first 500 videos I did on Chris Titus Tech, I did with Kdenlive on Linux. That's probably why the production quality was not the best in the early days. And then I moved to Final Cut because I was like, oh, wow, this is so much easier than Kdenlive. And then I moved, I think it was almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, to DaVinci Resolve. So I'm a DaVinci Resolve user on Windows. You're probably like, wait. Why not Linux? Why not Resolve on Linux? What's going on with that? Let me tell you. Resolve doesn't have feature parity between Windows and Linux. Windows, DaVinci Resolve, it is better in every single way. There's no feature parity. You want to do AAC decoding or encoding in your audio. You can't on Linux. It just craps out. There is no AAC. You can't read it. What about X264 in Linux? Well, you can, as long as you get the studio version and some other stuff loaded up. And it's not bad. Like I said, the Resolve in Linux is not terrible. It's just not as good as Windows. I hate saying it, but that's just the truth. Ugh. Gross. Anyways, moving on. I know some people don't get it. Like, there's definitely the hardcore Linux crowd out there is like, what the hell, Titus? You shouldn't tell people that. Even though it's true, you shouldn't tell them that. At least get them over here first, and then we let them know. I know. I'm ruining it for everybody. But... All right, moving on to DWMC. Here we go. So we've got these patched up. That's looking good. Do you think Resolve will get better soon in the Linux world? Yeah, it continually gets better. The thing is, the Windows version also gets better. So it's the Windows version just kind of stays ahead of the Linux version. At least that's what my experience has been after using it for like the past year or two. I think once they introduce a lot of like the base stuff, like the base things, there's certain things I can probably just live without and just edit in Linux. I can't wait for that to happen. The big thing is 264 and AAC. Getting those implemented in Linux will be a game changer. And then I'll probably be like, yeah, I don't care about like the auto subtitling. I think the auto upload to YouTube is Windows only too. Don't quote me on that. I haven't tried it in a while. There was just like some weird stuff, and then some of the new features coming out, such as auto subtitles and things of that nature, I think are Windows only, but frankly, I don't really use those that much either. So once they get the base stuff that I really use in the Linux version of Resolve, man, I'll happily switch. It's just not quite there yet. Close, very close, but not yet. What are you drinking today? This is the Dunkin' Donuts cappuccino protein powder. It's ISO 100, so it's a hydrolyzed protein. Pretty good. None of that optimum nutrition crap that uses like the crappy blends. So this one I like a lot better. And it doesn't taste bad. I just use water and ice and then just mix, you know. So it's almost like a coffee. I tell myself it's coffee. It's not really coffee. There's some caffeine in it, but not much. And I just say it's coffee. Even it tastes kind of like coffee. It is coffee. I'm just telling myself it's coffee. Really, it's like trash can coffee. It tricks my brain. Let's not think about that too much. Have you had thoughts of dailying Hyperlink? I did for a while. Actually, it was on my laptop for like 6 months. And it's fun. It's just for my studio PC, I really like the DWM setup with just using Xorg. It's just so damn reliable. Does Cursor support Vim natively? I think so. Yeah, if it's in VS Code, Cursor has it. It just it's all it is really VS Code underneath with some extra stuff. There's probably a little bit more to it than that. Yeah, DWL's interesting. It still doesn't have a huge community around DWL. The big thing with DWL compared to DWM that I see is, you know, well, obviously it's Wayland compared to Xorg. There's just not a whole bunch of patches yet for it, and they just moved the code base off of GitHub into, oh geez, I think it was like Code Space or some crap I've never even heard of. Let's see, what is it? DWL Linux. Yeah, so they archived it here. Yeah, they moved it to Codeberg. And this is where the now development of DWL happens for Wayland. And yeah, I mean, it's there. It's interesting. I don't know, guys. I'm just not on the Wayland hype train yet. I think I'll get there eventually. But at the end of the day, I kind of like to just use what works the best for me. And right now, Wayland is not it. I think it'll get there eventually. Maybe this year, maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now. I don't know how long I'm going to be using Xorg. I just know every major version, I try it, and then something happens and I'm like, screw this, I'm going back to Xorg. And that's basically what it's been like for me for the past 5 years. I'm not jaded at all on that fact. It's just, for my use cases, Wayland works like a turd. and Xorg does what I needed to do. Having said that, if I was doing like hardcore gaming and some other stuff, maybe I didn't need like Synergy, it would be fine. Oh, what about the NixOS hype train? I'm on that train. I really am. I love NixOS. It is fun. I just from a sysadmin point of view, like NixOS just checks every box. Fantastic. Love it. So, yeah. Well, King Root's been here forever. King Root's been in chat for over a year. He's been here since the beginning of the live stream stuff. Wayland's still not there yet, especially for us content creators. Yeah. I mean, Brody would disagree with you, though. Tech Zero, I know you chat with Brody from time to time. He would disagree with you. Brody loves his Wayland, man. Don't you badmouth his baby. The future is now. I'm like, you kids and your fancy Wayland. Oh. All right. So anyways, yeah, this is DWL. If you're interested in DWL, it's codeberg.org/DWL. And that's where the current DWM for Wayland is hosted. Not a lot of patches. I haven't seen much. It's interesting to see the development. It's not very fast. The last commit, I think, was last month. Damn. All right, well, yeah. Most of the DWM crowd's still on DWM. That's not a lot of activity. Yikes. Anywho, yeah, this is what's up with DWL. Yeah, it needs some developers, big time. Let's see what the patches repository looks like. They are starting to patch stuff. Look at this. That's kind of cool. Mr. Reddish and Cheek, much appreciated for the subs. So yeah, look at DWL. They're actually grabbing a bunch of stuff and actually putting it in here. I think this probably will be where most people move. So this is definitely a big improvement. Last time I looked at it, there really wasn't a patches repository, and now there is. And there's quite a bit of patches I use, like auto start, always center, bar padding. We're doing the alpha patch right now. And we could probably bring some of the old patches over to here as well. This is just kind of interesting, but it's getting there. Swallow, that's another big one. I love Swallow. Who doesn't? And yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's keep going with our patch here. I'm getting sidetracked. We need to go to unsigned. Let's go find this in setup.void. I should probably just pull it up over here so I'm not flipping back and forth between my scheme and setup void. There we go. Let's just pull up the rejection that's in setup void. So we need to add unsigned int alphas opaque. Copy this and then paste it there. Next on our rejection was below that 40 scheme create colors alpha 3. Let's see where that is. We're going to copy it. And you can see alpha 3. Got that. Moving on to the next rejection. We're going to the update bars function, and we're going to grab the background pix map and change it with pixel, border pixel, and color map. So we'll see this guy, copy, and we'll just jump over to it. Update bars, pix map. These are pretty clear so far. Let's copy this guy, and we're just going to highlight it, paste, and clear out these pluses. I don't know how to... sometimes when I grab like a whole function, I'll just do a multi-cursor and do it that way. The next one is going to be just a couple lines down. We're going to be using M bar win X create window and changing that. And a couple lines down, M bar win. Ooh, okay. Looks like right here. Now this one's a bit different. Let's write this below it, because I feel like this looks a bit different and we might have another patch confliction. So let's see what this looks like. Miracle WM, I don't think I have. Most window managers are based on DWM though. Like, I think I was looking at another one, which is like a highly riced DWM. It was called Chad WM. It was basically DWM, but with a cool rice. And I was like, oh, that's neat. So here is, let me look at the rejection again. I think that's fine, actually. I think we can just... Yeah. That is going to work fantastic. All right, great. I was just wondering. Sometimes I like to just kind of paste what I'm thinking below it, just to see if like another patch modified the code at all. But that looks good. All right, any other rejections? I think that was it. So that was our patch. I don't see anything else in the rejections. We have the original, the rejection, original rejection, and original. All right. Let's close that out. This is saved. Let's do our sudo make build, reboot, and then let's see the transparent magic. Sudo make clean install. Alrighty. Moment of truth. Will it work? Here we go. I broke it. Shit. What'd I do? I thought that was actually going to work great. Very clean. You know, I'm always talking about a minimal desktop. This is pretty minimal. Huh. Well, unfortunate. All right, well, let's just that went completely awry on me. What did I do wrong? Anywho, we're just gonna go git stash. Yeah, git pull. Yeah. Yeah, let's do git rebase. Shoot. How do I wipe out my existing files? What was it? Git. Well, let's go git stash drop. Let's clear it, but then we have to get all this stuff that I've changed and remove it as well. Control Z. Yep. I think that might work, Luke. It's Kari's fault. That's what the problem is. Kari's in my system, messing things up. That's what's happening. I can't remember. We're gonna have to e-links it. Oh, I don't have e-links. Oh no, I think I'm using W3. Is it W3M? No. What is that? Yeah, it's not git rest or git checkout. It's git. I know the command if I saw it. Git sleep. I think we could all use a little more sleep, right? Paro SW3M. I think that's the, yeah, W3M's there. So W3M Google.com. All right. And what we're going to do, let's come here. Let's go get rebase. Is it rebase? I don't know. Get change all files back to main branch. Let's see what that is. All right, let's see what this guy says. I mean, we can do it manually too. Oh, the modern web sucks. Yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? This is BS. Can't even use a terminal to browse the web. Inferior. Get reset hard. I think that was it, actually. Yeah. Thank you. That's the command I think I was looking for. Man, get. That's... What the hell? Man not found. Huh. Is man not on that for by default? Man doc. Huh. Okay. Anyways, I think that should get us what we need. Man get. All right. And then we can go reset. Reset current head to specified state. And we need to do it hard. All right, let's do a hard reset. Get reset -- hard. Didn't wipe out these though. I thought it would clear out the old one. Yeah. All right, whatever. I'm just gonna do it manually. I thought there was a way for it to just kind of clear out the old ones. Anywho, that'll take care of it. Get status. You can see it'll still have the alpha patch there, which we might rerun it. Yeah, we may not. I don't know. Let's just go sudo make clean install. All right, gravy. And now we can just exit. And we're just gonna Control Alt. Is it F2? All right, can we? Yeah. All right, that's fine. Control Alt F3. 1 second. Oops. Did I break it? I broke it. What's going on with my keyboard? Let's just try to replug that in, maybe. There we go. pkill-user Titus. Okay. PS aux and just checking for DWM. Okay, we're good. So now if we come back into 2. Oh man, come on. Control Alt F2, F3. Just give me another TTY. Is that so much to ask? All right, well. Am I using SDDM? Does anybody remember? I don't even remember. Status SDDM. Oh, I am. Okay. Get clean -f. That's probably what I needed to do. I know what I'm doing. Kinda. All right. Here we go. We're back. The power of Git. What did TTY2 give me? Okay. So we're on TTY3 now. No, okay. TTI1. Okay. It's actually get clean dash dash FD. Okay. Yeah. We'll try and do a fresh patch of that just to see. Because I'm kind of like, let's come on over to DWM. Get status. We'll just have a few things. That was just from the compile. And if we try to apply the DWM-Alpha patch, we probably will fail, but do patch P1 and then DWM-Alpha. Try it one more time. Hunk failed. And most of this did work. Kind of makes me think I did something with my DWM that caused this not to work with the alpha. All right, well, let's just take another crack at it. We'll do one more shot at it. I mean, I'm not like sold on transparent things. I'm just like, that'd be kind of cool to have. Let's look at this. We've already decided that that's what we need to do. So this is pretty simple. The MK, this one should be fairly straightforward as well. Oops. Let's just copy that. And for the MK make, you can see we have it right here. We're just going to add the LX render right there. And then what other rejections do we have? This one was also changed. You can see the border alpha. And we're just going to take this guy, put it in our config.h. Whereabouts was that in the default? Just so we kind of keep the same structure under D menu font. I might reorganize this. D menu font. Wait, what? We have fonts and D menu fonts, and then fonts. Oh, I think D menu fonts were actually removed. It's fine. I mean, I don't really use D menu, so it doesn't even matter. We'll grab it just because our def.h has it. Create a build script and see. Oh. All right. So our config.h is set up. Really, it's just the rejection then. And these weren't that crazy of a change. That's the thing, is they looked very straightforward. So it kind of leads me to believe that we might have some other shenanigans going on. This was going to be in the setup void. So I like to grab the line before that, kind of copy it, see if there's a reference point. Let's just go here. Reference is right here, and that's in setup void. 1 of 1, so there's no other line with that. Now we should be able to do the unsigned int alpha. Perfect. And then for the next one, we're looking for this. It's actually right below it, so we won't even have to search for it. Just a couple lines down. Here's this. You can actually see the error, and this clears up that. And then finally, this guy. And we got that in update bars. 1 of 1, so no other possibilities. Maybe I just was impatient. It was like starting up things from the auto start or something. That could have been it too. Maybe it was already, maybe I didn't do it wrong and I was just impatient. Or something was, I should have done a whole reset instead of just quitting out of DWM. Because my auto start might have tripped over itself. I'm thinking that might have been it. So anyways, There's that. And then finally this guy, which was actually pretty easy to do. And that's just right below it. So M bar win X create window. And you go M bar win X create window right here. And don't want to grab the define cursor. That's there. We don't want that in there twice. And that's it. That should be the patch. That's as straightforward of a patch as you can get. So if this doesn't work, I'll probably give it a reboot or something. And if we do a sudo make clean install, see, it feels good to compile. There's no warnings or anything. I don't know. Let's quit. And then I'll log back in. And if it gives me that black screen again, I'm like, okay. I'm going to reboot. Systray is unavailable. Don't close your window. Yeah, definitely something with 6.5 or one of the modifications I've made that doesn't like this patch. Interesting. Yeah. That's kind of cool, though. I like it. Randy, thanks for the raid. Welcome, new guys. We're working on DWM. I do like minimal. Ah, jeez. I tell you. Well, let's just come on over here, huh? Set font. Let's go 28 normal. Alrighty. Good day from Australia. How is it from down under? Sorry for my terrible accent. He's like, I'm out. I'm out. Okay, this is a little too minimal. I agree. Take it easy, Sarah. Oh, let's see. Let's come on over to DWM. That is just unfortunate. So I think the alpha patch, no bueno. Ah, man. All right, we're going to give it a get reset hard. Alrighty. Get status. Let's just remove all star dot original and also star dot rejections. Trash that. We have that. Sudo make clean install. And now finally, we're just going to go system ctl restart. We're going to restart our display manager. SDDM. Yeah. Ah. Bummer. That was the patch, the alpha patch that we attempted that failed miserably. But that's okay. Like I said, there's nothing in that patch that rubbed me the wrong way. So I was like, okay. And I guess, you know, a 50-50 split among everybody in the poll between we do transparent taskbar or not. You know, I'm okay with not having it transparent. The copium is real with me today. Switch to Wayland. Never. I'm gonna be the last holdout. I'm gonna be like the last one on the island. I'm gonna be like, no, Xorg all the way till the day I die. Oh man, I love it. All right, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go clear my head after this. You know, it's only been an hour. I think let's raid somebody and shut it down for now. I'll probably jump back on, but I got to think of what the next patch is. Trying to apply this alpha patch, I'm kind of like, okay, move on from the alpha patch, move on from something else. Yeah, already. Well, I wanted to jump on a little early, attempt the alpha patch, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go work out. I usually work out at noon, and then after my workout, I come back and stream. But today I was like, I'm going to be gone most of towards the end of the week because of my main job. They're moving their headquarters, so I'm going to actually be doing real work at my real job. Ugh. Hate doing real work. And can't just mess around with stuff like this all day. But I'm going to enjoy it today. We've got this stream. This was just like a precursor to the main stream, which is going to be in 2 hours. Having said that, let's see. Is there anybody I know on Twitch? A couple times I've been trying to pull up Twitch, it's been, we got Pirate Software, Primogen, Luna. All right, we got some folks. All right, look at that. How about raiding Primogen? I haven't raided him in a bit. We good with that? YouTube, see you later. I'll be streaming here in about a couple hours. And Twitch, you can just hang out with Prime for a couple hours. And if you want to come back, I'll be streaming here in a little bit. We're going to do a double stream today. So, YouTube, peace. And now we're going to move on to Twitch. And let's raid old Primogen. Here we go. It's been so long since I've raided somebody. I'm like, I don't even know how to do it anymore. I usually just hit start streaming and then like, okay, I'm done. All right, here we go. Raid Primogen. Randy, thanks for the raid. I'm now raiding. We're going to raid Prime. Oh, man. Tell Prime I had to go work out. If he inquires. All right, y'all. Take it easy. See you guys in a couple hours. Deuces.